Morning. All right. First of all, President. For President, we have 60 certificates of candidacies filed, 13 for Vice President, and 61 for Senator. Again, for President, 60 candidacies, Vice President, 13, and for Senator, 61. Today yan. As of 10:50 a.m. As of 10:45 a.m., for the party list, 70. 70. Nationwide. Nationwide, as of yesterday, unfortunately, we only have about 3% submission because all of this filing is happening at the same time, and we are continually collating the reports from the different field offices, but it's really not uniform, you know, the way the pace of reporting. So I'll give you the percentage of submission for that particular position, and I'll give you the number of candidates filed so far. All right, for member of the House of Representatives, with 3.78 submission rate, we have 48 candidates. There are 238 seats up for grabs. With 3.7% submission, we have 48 candidates. Again, that's very small. For Governor, Vice Governor, and member of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, with a 5.46% rate of submission, we have, for Governor, 18 candidates so far have filed. For Vice Governor, 7. And for Sangguniang Panlalawigan member, 60. Correspondingly, there are 81 positions, there are 81 seats for Governor and Vice Governor, and 776 for Sangguniang Panlalawigan. Again, emphasizing 5.46 submission rate lang yan. For Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Councilor, mas mataas ng konti, 14% ang ating submission rate, 14.81%. And we have 106 candidates for Mayor, 87 candidates for Vice Mayor, and 826 candidates for Councilor. There are 1,634 seats, Mayor and Vice Mayor, 13,540 seats for Councilor. We have no reports currently from the ARMM. So we will give you a copy of this. I know those were a lot of numbers, but you can look at this. But again, the caveat is that percentage of submission remains very low. This will improve as we get closer to Saturday. So President 60, Senator 61, Vice President 13. All right? Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am. Can we have a microphone, please? Ma'am, sandali lang po.
Okay, are we still on track on the number of supporters per candidate?
Yes, we are, but of course, like we said earlier, there is a little bit of flexibility considering that some candidates tend to come in clumps, in bunches, but for the most part, we're still able to keep the end result the same, which is orderly filing po.
Yeah, because earlier...
Yeah, earlier there were a lot, no?
The yellow, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
those were two candidates.
Yeah, I know, I
Mayor and
counted
Vice
5
Mayor.
there.
Right.
And then there were around 3 here? Or
Some others in the middle. But
okay.
again, like I said, some flexibility has always been expected.
Yeah,
anyway.
because the grace is coming this afternoon, and then
yes.
tomorrow.
And we expect that everyone will be treated the same way, or at least equitably po.
Yeah, hopefully.
Apo.
Thank you.
We'll make sure. Any more questions? Questions? Wala. Updates lang naman to eh. Yes, sir. Oh, careful. Sure.
Sir, malapit nang matapos tomorrow, no? So, sa pagdedetermine, sir, sa nuisance candidates, di ba sa Constitution, medyo konti lang yung requirement? And then, what's going to be your basis? Just the Constitution or the Omnibus Election Code?
The Omnibus Election Code is really where you find the provision on nuisance candidates. No, I think it's Section 69 of Article 9. Section 69 basically identifies, number one, it gives the COMELEC the authority to deny due course or reject the candidacies of certain candidates who fit under 3 general categories. Number one, those who file their certificates of candidacies in order to make a mockery of the election system or to, well, basically undermine it, right? Second, those who have filed their certificates of candidacies and seek to confuse voters through a similarity of names between candidates. And third, those who have filed their certificates of candidacy with no bona fide intention or good faith intention of actually running for office. So, pasok dyan sa mga kategory na yan, yung mga nakikita natin mga kandidato who, I suppose, we feel might fall outside the pale of reasonableness. Let's put it that way. So, ang evaluation process natin is actually not that simplistic, no? Of course, obviously, there is a tendency to dismiss some candidates offhand. But we have to actually hear them and decide on the basis of that hearing whether or not they will be considered nuisance candidates, finally. So, yun po yung tatlong pangunahin. And then, syempre, as we've been implementing this, there are also some questions about the ability of candidates to conduct nationwide campaigns. Remember, when we talk about nuisance candidates, we talk about the nuisance or the character of their candidacy being a nuisance, not the individual. Okay? Hindi yung tao. So, ang tinutukoy na nuisance candidate is actually yung kandidatura na makakagulo lamang or hindi makakakontribute significantly doon sa kabuang proseso. Kaya nagiging issue yung kakayanang magsagawa ng isang kampanya. Halimbawa, tatakbo ka sa pagka-presidente pero wala kang sapat na pondo para dumalaw sa at least a majority of areas in the Philippines, then maybe you might want to reconsider. Some people say, may social media naman. Eh, hindi naman din lahat. Una, hindi lahat marunong gumamit ng social media. Pangalawa, hindi naman lahat ng botante nasa social media. So again, there is a question of the potential for a meaningful campaign leading to a reasonable expectation of victory. Yeah? So yun yung mga issues doon. Kaya nagkakaroon pa rin ng rejection ng COC on the basis of that. Ang schedule ng labas ng ganyan mga resulta? Wala pang schedule ng mga hearing. Malalaman natin yan base sa dami kasi and magkakaroon tayo ng paghahati-hati ng trabaho doon sa dalawang division. That's when we will come out with the schedule. Yes, ma'am. Ang information pa lang na hawak ko is that I think this afternoon, yun na nga, yung team nila Senator Grace Poe, and then tomorrow, there's talk about Congressman Manny Pacquiao coming. But other than that, yung mga, like si Senator Miriam, I think, is supposed to be filing, but we haven't had advance information about that. Anyone from the Duterte camp, no one has coordinated with us, but there are substantial crowds outside carrying Duterte materials. And a lot of bald people outside also. Di ba? Hindi kasi nagpakalbo daw sila, di ba? Like, Inday Sara nagpakalbo. Yon. So, there are a lot of bald people outside and they're for Duterte. But we haven't been able to confirm that that the mayor himself is going to come to file. Other than that, no one yet. No one that we know of in advance. Yes. Ano po? Ano po?
Sir, yung mababang rate ng pagpa-file for LGUs, for local government positions, peculiar ba yan? O kahit ng 2010, ganyan din?
Well, number one, I think this is more of a function na konti pa lang nagre-report sa amin. Pangalawa, kung medyo mababa man ngayon, hindi yan surprising. Because in the locals, the pattern holds eh. Mahilig pa rin sila magsiksikan sa last day. So, there's still time, I think, to see these numbers explode into the levels that we are used to. Okay? Ma'am, wala akong number nung comparative time, no? But I think hindi tayo malalayo doon. I think if ever, mas marami pa tayong kandidato ngayon. Yun ang usap-usapan ng field offices natin. Again, absent the actual data, absent the actual reports, it's really difficult to say. But again, like I said, from all indications, it looks like participation on the side of candidates for these elections will be very healthy. Yes, ma'am. Well, that's assuming na nasa social media yung mga interesting personalities na yun. You've seen some of them. Do you think they can navigate Twitter? Ay, parang, di ba? Hindi rin naman necessarily, right? So, I don't know. I think it's more of a function of more people feeling more empowered to actually engage the establishment, so to speak, and trying to be a part of the leadership structure. And I think overall that might be a good sign. Social media-wise, I would reserve judgment on the impact of social media on colorful candidates specifically. But for the rest of us, for the rest of the non-colorful people like you and me, I hope I'm non-colorful, right? I think social media, yes, does have a very strong impact. Social media increases the interest levels of ordinary people in the process because it makes everything more accessible to everyone. No? Parang kung dati naghihintay ka lang sa dyaryo which happens once a day, ngayon blanket coverage ang nakikita mo sa Twitter, sa Facebook, and it contributes to the excitement. So, yes, in that regard. Yes, sir.
Related to social media question, no? Maglalabas kayo ng do's and don'ts. Masasaklawan ba niyan yung social media?
Hindi ko mapapangako na masasaklawan niya yung social media, pero mapapangako ko sa'yo na tinitignan ang social media. Kino-consider yan. Kung matatandaan mo, noong 2013, sabi namin, ang social media ay parang free market of ideas yan, na mahirap i-regulate. At hindi namin alam kung gusto naming i-regulate. No? We are certainly very aware of it. We are very aware of the impact it has and of the many ways it's being used by candidates. But again, the question is it something that the COMELEC wants to take the lead in regulating? It might not be something that we want to touch at the moment, no? But again, like I said, not to rule out anything, we are definitely looking at social media. Yes po. Opo. We are definitely going to monitor campaign spending wherever campaign money is spent, including online. Opo. Any more questions? Tana? All right, thank you.